This video describes in general terms how to perform an API test. This video uses the example of an API 20E test. If you are using a different test, then the exact details may differ slightly from this example. First, ensure that you have all the necessary reagents, API strip, container and lid, and a fresh plate of your bacteria for testing. Add a few drops of water to the container holding the API test strip to ensure the atmosphere remains moist during overnight incubation. Using aseptic technique, scrape a few bacterial colonies from the plate and resuspend them in approximately 5 ml of phosphate buffered saline. Mix the culture well to ensure even distribution of cells throughout and that no clumps of colonies remain. Your aim is to create a suspension of cells that are the same turbidity as the 0.5 McFarlane standard seen in the video. Use this standard for comparison to your culture and add more bacteria if needed to achieve the desired turbidity by eye. Next, use a Pasteur pipette to fill each compartment of the API test strip up to the brim. Some wells may need to be topped up with culture to ensure they are filled. Next, take sterile oil and add that to the top of the required compartments. In the API 20E test, this is to the ADH, LDC, ODC, H2S and URE compartments. Once you have completed these steps, you should close the lid on the container and incubate as required. After incubation, you need to complete some of the assays before you can read the results. For the API 20E test, you need to add the following. To the TDA compartment, you need to add 1 drop of ferric chloride. To the IND compartment, you need to add 1 drop of Kovacs reagent. And to the VP compartment, you need to add 1 drop of VP1 and 1 drop of VP2. When the test strip results are ready for you to read, you should obtain the reference sheet showing the positive and negative results and compare your compartments to those on the reference sheet to determine whether you have a positive or a negative result in each compartment of your test strip. Write a plus on the results sheet if your assay is positive and a minus if it is negative. Once this is completed for all compartments, you will see on the results sheet that the compartments are marked off into groups of 3, each with a corresponding number, 1 for the first test, 2 for the second test, and 4 for the third test. Use these numbers to score your strain for each set of 3 compartments. Add the numbers together for each group of 3 compartments that give a positive test. For example, if tests 1 and 2 were positive but 3 was negative, then the score would be 1 plus 2 giving 3. Whereas if test 1 was negative but tests 2 and 3 were positive, then the result would be 2 plus 4, which gives 6. This will finally give you a 7-digit code from the 21 compartments of the test, counted in sets of 3. Once you have the 7-digit code generated from your results, you need to connect to the API web database using login details supplied by your supervisor or the technical team. Then select the API test that you have used and complete the corresponding 7-digit code. This will generate a table of possible species for identification of your strain. Here you can see that in this example, the strain percentage ID gives a 99.9% probability that our strain is E. coli.